So now that we are done creating all these functionalities for the shop tracker or the mini market tracker, what is left for us to do now is to include the analysis so that whatever entries or whatever is going on in the supermarket will be made available over here for us to create a visual representation, or for a visual representation to be created for the shop owner to know what is currently happening in his or her shop. And so to do that, let us include the headings that will be needed for these analysis. And so let us include our items. So let us come over here to our headings. So let us copy this one as usual. Let us copy it and come to the analysis. Let us begin from the cell B9. Let us copy it. So let us paste special. Let us paste special. Okay, and continuing. So we'll add the quantity bot. Obviously, we'll add the quantity bot. We need to analyze that one. So the quantity bot and the quantity sold, that one needs to be analyzed. So let us copy and come and add it to our analysis over here. So let us paste special. So, and the next thing will be obviously the cost price, the sell price, because we will need to know if the shop or the mini market is breaking even. So let us bring in the cost price and the sell price into our analysis. So let us bring that one also. Please, I hope you are all following. Okay, there is one thing we left out. So let us simply add a new column. So Control Shift plus, and over here let us bring in the stock left. So we'll bring in the stock left. So let us simply bring in the stock left. And to continue, the next thing we'll be adding will be the new column or a new heading. So we'll be adding the total cost and the total sales. So the total cost, so the total cost for each brand. So let us introduce that. So now we are delving into the world of accounting. I hope the accountants will help me out over here. So over here, the total cost is obviously the quantity, but times the cost price, and the total sales will be the unit price or the selling price times the quantity sold so far. If I'm wrong, I'm sure the accountants will point out that for me. So now let us also introduce the new heading, that is the profit or loss. So in each of these brands, is the mini market or the shop running at a loss, or they are making good progress? So now also we would like to add what we call, let us add what we call the percentage, but so the percentage of each brand, but in respect to the total quantity. So let us introduce that also, so that the shop owner will know which of them were bought at a higher quantity. So let us also introduce the percentage sold. So the percentage sold also in respect to the total quantity sold, which of these is really, or which of the brands is really selling, or which of the brands is really running out of stock, and the percentage in stock, obviously, as the name suggests, which of the brands is still left in stock, or which of the brands isn't moving as the shop owner would want it to. So we would want to bring in the, instead of quantities or instead of numbers, we would like to have it in percentages so that they will know. And also what we'll now be introducing will be, in the case that there is a restock, then we would also have to include it in our analysis also. And so to do that, we will simply have to now bring in these details also. So the new quantity, the new cost price, the new sell price, the total after restock, the quantity after restock, and the new stock. So we'll bring it all in to the analysis also. So let us copy it. So over here also, if you don't want to copy it, you can always reference it by using the equal sign, so that in case the title or the heading changes, it will affect it automatically also. So let us zoom out a bit so that at least we can have we can appreciate what we are doing. So as you can see, a whole lot of headings. Well, That's a programming. The shop owner won't care. The shop owner just wants to know what's going on. So as a programmer, you have to work behind the scenes to get it all done for him or her. So the new stock. So over here also, what we'll be dealing with or what we'll be talking about also, just as this one, we have the total cost, the total sales. Over here also, now we introduce the new total cost. So after the restock, the cost incurred, then also we introduce the new total sales. So after restock, the new total sales. And also now we bring in the percentage of new stock bought. So the percentage of the new stock or the new quantity bought. So we introduce the percentage of the new stock, but before that, let us bring in the new profit or loss. So after the restock, is the shop owner or is the mini market running at a loss or they are making profits? So after that, we'll now introduce the new stock bought or the new quantity bought. So let us make it the new stock bought. So percentage of new stock bought. So the percentage that each specific brand was bought in respect to the total one, and also the percentage after restock. So this one will give a fair idea that after restocking, which of these brands are still very much in stock or left in stock. So the percentage after the restock. Then we will have the percentage. Okay, let's do this. So let's continue. So the next thing we'll add will be the percentage of the new stock that has been sold. So percentage of new stock sold or percentage of new stock sold. Okay, and now the percentage in stock. So what this is trying to mean now is after the restock, the percentage that has been sold so far. So the percentage of new stock sold. So after the restock, the percentage that has been sold so far. So let's rename it. So percentage. Okay, let's maintain it as this. And the next one will be the percentage in stock now. So the percentage of new in stock so percentage in stock. So let's name it percentage of new in stock. Sorry, let's respell it. Percentage of new in stock and press enter. And now after restock, before restock the sales made and after restock the sales made, now we'll need a general sales that what has been made now. So we need a general sales before and after restock. So this one, as usual, the accountant will let us know it is the total sales plus now the new total sales will give us this. So now these are the analysis we'll be doing to help the mini market know what is entirely going in or what is going on in their system. So let us give it a little bit of color to at least differentiate them. So let us give the stocks. So the stock, where is our stock? So our stock left, let us give it a color. So let us give it the red color as you can. So move to the total after restock. So the new stock, let us give it a different color. Then let us give these new quantities over here. Let us maintain their colors, but let us give these percentages a different color so that we will know that these are the percentages. Let us give them black pink. Let us give them a new color. Let us give these percentages also a different color. Okay. And now let's give this a different color also, at least to differentiate it from the new ones. So let us give this a different color, and also this one's also, let us give it a different color to differentiate it from the new quantities. And our profit and loss, let us give our profit and loss also a different color. Let us give them different color. Where is our profit, our new profit and loss? Let us at least to identify them easily. And our sales also. So these are our sales Let's give our sales also a different and nice color. So let us make our sales a different color, and the general sales also the same color as our sales. Okay, so now these are the headings or the data we'll be using for our analysis. So as usual, let's bring in our info over here. So let us type in our brands and bring in this data. So this is our brands data. So the quantity bought obviously is equal to, come to the quantities and bring in the data over here. Then we'll drag it down. Let's simply double click to bring it down. Then the quantity sold over here, simply let us reference it. So the quantity sold will simply the equal to sign, then we'll come to quantities and reference this one, also press enter. Then we'll simply bring it down, and over here the stock left is always this minus this, but we can always reference it from the stock info, because anytime there is a change in the quantity sold, it's always reflect over here, so it will reflect. Let us also bring in our prices, so our cost price. So let us do that. Let us bring it over here, then let us drag it down. Let us put it in a currency form. Okay, and also our total cost is always equal to our cost price times, let us now do this accounting calculation. So the total cost is equal to the cost incurred times the total quantity bought. So that will give us the total cost incurred for each of these brands. So we will simply drag it down. So relative referencing, as it goes down, it changes per the values for these ones. And also the total sales made is always equal to our selling price. So the price that it was sold at times the number of items that has been sold or the quantity sold. So this one we will simply drag it down. So let's see whether our formula is correct. So let us see. So this one times the quantity sold, that's actually correct. So now that's it. So let us put it in the currency form. Let us select the entire thing, bring in the dollar and put it in the currency form. So let us do that. So in case I'm going fast as usual, you can always pause the video, or you can always go back and go over what we are doing so far, so that at least you can appreciate it. And always be sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and always leave a comment behind. So the profit or loss. So with this, our accountants will tell you the sales generated minus the cost will give us the profit. So if you want to know the profit, is always the selling price minus the cost price to give us the profit or the loss. So as you can see currently, since no sales has literally been made, we are currently at a loss. So let us also put this in the currency format. So let us introduce our Ghana cedis and press the OK. Okay. Now the percentage bought. So now what I want us to do now will be to now bring our totals over here. So let us bring our totals. So these totals, so let us select this one. Let us copy it. Then bring it over here. Let us paste it over here. So this will be our totals. Sorry. As you can see, since I referenced it, so let me now, okay, so equal to this and press enter. So because I referenced it, that's why it is like this now. So let me change its color now. Let us italize it. No, let us decrease it. Or let us decrease the font. So now over here, let us now bring in the formula, the sum. So equal to sum. Then we would sum this all up. So let us use the Control Shift to select the entire thing. Control Shift down to sum it all up. So this is the sum. So over here we can do same, but since it will pick it up that we are adding these cells up, relative referencing, we can simply drag it. So as you can see, it has picked up what that we are introduce a formula in the very next cell. So as you can see, it sum F10, so F10 through to F69, and also the same over here. Sorry, so these are our totals. So now the percentage bought. So the percentage bought will be equal to the quantity that was bought for a specific brand divided by our what? Our quantity or our total quantity. So we press enter. Then over here we want it in a percentage form. So let us make it a double digit. Then we'll drag it down. So let us simply double click on it. So as you can see, there are disparities or there are changes. This is because it is now is still doing what? A relative referencing. So as you can see, this one is an error or an error over here, sorry. So it's still doing a relative referencing. So what this is doing is, if you are to pick here, it is dividing this by the what? The next cell below this one. But we want this to be the constant. So what we'll do is to come back over here to the first formula. Then now we will lock the very cell we want it to be the what? The constant. So we'll use the F4 key again as we did previously to lock it, F4, to simply lock it and press enter. So now let us drag it down again to see what will happen. And abracadabra, or voila, this is what will happen now. So this is it. Then now let us continue. Let us see whether this will work. Let us drag it over here. As you can see, it works. So it has picked up what? And over here, instead of F7, it is still with what? A7, because we've what? Logged this one. So we can simply change that by simply coming over here and simply changing that. So we will divide it. So let's change our formula to this is equal to the quantity sold divided by this, and let us lock it with the F4 and press enter. So since this is currently the total quantity sold, it will be in 100%. Okay, so let us double click on it. So as you can see, they are all in 0% because nothing has been sold. And also over here, let us change our total to this, the stock left over here equal to, let us correct it, equal to this over here divided by the total. Press enter. Then we'll simply, let us lock this one. So let us lock it, the F4 to lock it, and press enter. Then we'll simply drag it down. And the details will be made available for us. So now we've done this. So the new quantities also will simply go and we will simply reference it. So we'll simply click on it, then simply reference these ones. So as you can see, there is no quantity. So we'll simply drag it. Since nothing has been bought, we'll simply reference all these ones. Let's select the entire thing. Just drag it down. As you can see, since no quantities are available, it will appear over here. Let's test our theory and see in the case that 3 quantities have been purchased, so the new stock will be 67. Let's go and check. Okay, they all reflect over here. That's fine. Let us correct that. No quantities has been purchased so far. Okay, so now our analysis to continue. So over here, our total cost is always equal to let's correct this. Let's put it in, or let's give it a currency, Ghana cedi currency. Okay, so our total cost will always, or our new total cost will always be our cost price times our quantity purchased. So this is our current total cost. And then let us give it a currency and equal to. Okay, so now this is our current total cost, and with the total sales over here, it will be our selling price times our quantity sold after restock. So that's the quantity sold after restock. So that's why there was a need to add this total after restock so that in case, as said earlier, they want to change the prices of the old stock left, they can always add it and know the sales so far. So the profit or loss, as usual, will be equal to this minus this to give us the profit or loss. Then, sorry, no, I don't want to replace it. Then let's simply drag it down and give it the currency. Okay, so now, so what we'll do now is to also create the same calculations or the same totals for these ones. So what we'll do now is to introduce the new quantity bot. So we'll bring the new quantity bot over here. So the new quantity, or the new quantity, yes, new quantity, new quantity. Okay, then the next one will be the total after restock. So let's simply reference it, total after restock, and the new total sold. So this one, the new total sold, new total sold. So let's do that, the new total sold. Then the last one will be the new total in stock. So the new total in stock. Okay, so now let us wrap them up. Then now center it and give it a bit of a color. If time will permit us, then align it, embolden it. Okay, let it, okay. Okay, so now the new quantity will be equal to the sum of this entire ones. So the sum of this, press enter. Then also the total after restock will be as usual equal to the sum, press the enter of all this, press enter. And also the new total sold, as usual, the sum, press the tab key of all this, press the shift down, press enter. And now the total after restock, the new total in stock will be equal to the sum, the tab, and this one, total down, press enter. So now we've gotten all the quantities over here now. So we have all the quantities. We have all our quantities over here. So now let us come and do our percentages. So equal to, so now new stock bought, so equal to this new quantities bought over here divided by our new quantity. Then we'll lock it up and press enter. So as you can see, it's showing more like an error because there is 0, it is dividing 0 by 0. So this is how it will appear. And also percentage after restock will be equal to the total after restock will be this divided by this, press enter. See, as you can see, the same over here. First, let us finish, and also over here equal to the new stock. So the new stock sold, so this one, so the quantity, so this divided by this, press enter. First, let us lock this one also. Let us lock it, press enter, and now let's do the division. Okay, let's see, we didn't lock this one, so let us lock it. F4, press enter, and now let us drag it down, and let us do the same for this. The new in stock now will be this divided by this. And now let us lock it. Let's lock it and press enter. And now let us drag it down. Okay, so let us set this in percentages so that in case a value is found, it will return in percentages. So let us, percentages rather, in percentages. Okay, so now the general sales made will be equal to this total sales over here. This total sales plus this new total sales. So that one will give us the general total sales in case there is a restock. So let us change the currency custom. It's not here, so we'll just bring it down. So you can see it's over here. Now we'll click on OK. So it will give us that currency. So now we are done with our analysis. Don't worry about this. Anytime there is a data entry, it will simply pick it up. So let us confirm that. So in case we introduce a quantity of 3, let's delete this, a quantity of 4, 3, 2, 1. So let's intentionally introduce these quantities. Okay, press enter. Now let's go to analysis. So as you can see, these ones have been picked up. This one is still the same because, okay, let's bring it down so that, or let's drag it so that at least we can get the information it is giving. So the percentage. So now let us add a stock that has been sold. So 2, 3. Okay, so let's get rid of this. Okay, so now let's come to that. So as you can see, the data is reflecting over here now. It seems there is a minus somewhere. Where is the minus? Okay, all right, so let's bring 5 over here rather. Okay, that's it. And let's go to analysis. New percentage sold, there is a minus. So let's see. New total sold. New total sold is, okay, as you can see, our formula, we mistakenly brought a minus sign over here. So let's get rid of it. And as you can see, it has been picked up. So as I said earlier, in case we inputted a formula and there was an error, there is no need to panic. Just go through your formula step by step or your function step by step to know what is going on wrong. So now we are done with our inputs and our analysis is ready for us to use. So over here now, what we would do is to include what we call the pivot table. So we include what we call the pivot table. And in our pivot, and what the pivot table does is it summarizes this whole data into just headings for us. So let me show you what I mean. So to start with our analysis, we will simply select anywhere, but I would like for us, since this table has been referenced, if you are to select it and use the pivot table, it selects only this one. So let's select this table rather. Then go to the insert tab. Then now select the pivot table. So from table range, so this from this table, so we'll select it. Then it is asking, we want it in a new worksheet or an existing one. Let us do it in an existing one. This very sheet, because we've named it what, our analysis. So let's start our analysis from here. So we are doing it from here so that in case there is data addition as it goes down, it doesn't affect where our analysis has started. So, or where our pivot table has started. So we would like for our pivot table to appear over here. So we'll simply click on OK. And as you can see, this will appear over here. So if you want to analyze anything, as soon as you select it, as you can see, it has summarized all our data input into what, headings, so that as soon as you select it, it will appear over here. So now what we want to select, or the things we would want to first analyze, will be, so what we first want to analyze will be our totals. So our total quantity bought, the total quantity sold, the total stock left. So we have all those totals, right? So what we'll do is, so the quantity bought, we want the quantity bought, as you can see, it appears. We want the quantity sold. We want the stock left. We want the mini market to know the current quantities in their stores. And also, we want what, the restocked quantity, so that in case there is a restock, they will know the quantities that are available. So we want that one also. So the restocked quantity. So now we want what, the total after restock the total after we restocked. So we want that one also. Then also we want what? The quantity sold after restock. So the quantity sold after restock. And the very last one will be the new stock. So these are the details we would first want to what? Analyze. So then let us simply rename our headings. So simply double click on it, then come over here and name it what? Let's rename this to total quantity bought. So simply click on what? Okay. So let's rename this one also. So you can do same and rename your headings also. And you can always rename it to a name that will be easier for your client or the one you are making the very software for to easily understand what you are trying to tell them. So, okay, then the total stock left. So this one too will be the total stock left. So let's type total stock left and click on OK. Then this one we will rename it to the restocked quantity. So this one we will rename it to the restocked quantity. So the restocked quantity. So this is how we will rename this one. Then also moving on, we'll rename this to the general quantity after what? Restocked. So now what we are trying to say is after restock, we are now talking about the whole quantity in stores now after what? Restocking. So the general quantity. So the general quantity after restock. So that's the initial quantity plus what? The restocked quantities. So we've done that calculations already. So there is no need to worry about that. So after restock, they will simply click on OK. Then the next one will be the total. So this one will rename it to what? The total quantity sold after restock. It's good to be clear on what or the kind of data you are giving out. Total quantity sold after restock, so that it will be easily understood by the audience you are trying to what? Explain this to. And now this one will rename it to the total in stock after what? Restocking. So this one will rename it to the total in stock. So the total in stock after the restocking was done, or after new quantities were included. So first, this is the data we would like to analyze. So let us wrap it up. Let us center it. And now let us bolding it and italize it. And now let us simply shrink it a bit. No, I don't want to do anything. So let us shrink it a bit. Total quantities. Okay. So now this is what we would want to first analyze. And now the next thing we would want to analyze will be the total quantity sold and the total. So that's the initial quantity sold and the what? Initial quantity left. So what we'll do is, if we are to simply use this one and change any or deselect, it will simply affect it. So instead of creating a new pivot table, we can simply select this one, right click to copy, then simply come down over here. Make sure your data analysis or your pivot table do not overlap. So we'll simply copy it over here. As you can see, a new one has been created and the new pivot table has appeared over here. So over here, we would want to analyze, or we would want to see what is happening in our brands. So we'll simply get rid of these ones. So what we want to analyze over here will be the brand list. So the brand list, then the quantity sold so far, and what? The stock left. So over here also, let us rename it to what? The brand. So let us rename it to the brand. Okay, and over here also we'll simply rename it to the what? The total quantity sold. So total quantity sold. Simply click on OK, and over here also the total quantity left. The total quantity left. and simply create a space and click on OK. So over here, the kind of, as you can see, that's too much. Okay, let us get rid of the grand totals. So to get rid of the grand totals, with it selected, you simply come to the design. As you can see, 2 tabs have been added for you to always make changes to your pivot table. So click on the design, then you come to the grand totals and you want to off it off for rows and columns. Click on it. If you have to come down, as you can see, your grand totals has now disappeared. So over here, what we want to first know is the top 10 quantities in stock and their quantity sold. So to find the top 10, we will simply right click over here. Then from this drop down list, we will come to the filter. So we want to filter to top 10. So with the top 10 is the items we are talking about. We want the items. So the total quantity sold. No, we want the total stock left currently. So simply click on OK. So as you can see, these are the top 10 items in stock currently. So these are the top 10 items in stock currently. You can always sort them out also. So then the next thing, or the next data we want to analyze, just as we've done for the top 10 in stock currently, we want to do same, so that in case of restocking, we want to know which of these brands has the highest number of quantities in stock. So we'll simply select it and right click, then copy it, then simply come over here to this very cell and I will paste it. And over here we'll maintain the brand list and the stock left. But over here, what we'll do now is to go to the total quantity sold after restock, this one, and now the in stock currently. So the total in stock after restock. So now let us rename it. So rename this one to the total, so that it will match up to our very headings also. So the total quantity sold after restock, just like this one. Click on OK, then rename this one to the sum of new stock. So this one, what we'll do is to rename it to the total in stock. Total in stock. I hope I'm right. It's not in store. If it's in store, pardon me. So total in stock after the restocking was done. So after restock, so we'll simply click on OK. And over here also, just as we did for before the restocking, we want the top 10 also. So we'll simply filter it to the top 10 for the quantity sold, no, for the total in stock. So simply click on OK. So after restocking, these are the top 10 quantities still left in stock. So this is one data also, or this is one information we would want to analyze. And the next thing also, the most important thing the manager will be, or the owner will be looking out for, will be the very revenues they are currently generating, the cost, the revenue, the cost, the sales, the profit, the loss, all these things he would want to know. So over here, the next information we will be searching for, or we will be analyzing. Sorry, as you can see, because I didn't copy and paste it, as you can see, the data just disappeared. So let us undo it. Then now let us simply copy it again. So we can simply copy it. Then come over here and paste it. So let us paste it over here. Then with this one, all what we want to is the money. I came here to drop some money. So over here, we'll simply be looking for the total sales, the profit also. Then also, that's before, the total sales before and the total sales after. So now we'll be looking out for the new total sales, the new profit or loss, and the last one will be the general sales made. So the general sales will be the total plus the total before and the total after. So that will give us the general sales. So all these are here currently, and as you can see, there is because no values or no amount has been allocated. So now over here also, we'll simply rename it. So the total sales, so this one we'll name it the total sales generated. So total sales generated. Click on OK. So this one also will simply make it what? The total profit. So the total profit, don't worry, we'll differentiate the other ones. Total profit, simply click on OK. And this one also, we'll rename it to the new total sales generated after what? The new total sales generated after what? Restocking. So the new total sales generated after restocking. Am I right? Restocking. Okay, I think I'm right. Then also we'll rename this one also to the total profit or the total new profit. So the total new profits. So we will simply leave it at this and simply click on OK. And the last one will be the total general sales. So the total general sales, and we'll simply click on what? Okay. So these are the details also we will be using for our analysis. So with this one, we can leave it as this. So these are the details we'll be using. And so moving on, the next details we would be adding to our analysis will be our total cost and the sales generated. So simply copy this one. So let's simply copy it and paste it over here. So sorry, let's paste it. So simply paste it over here. So let's get rid of these details or data. So let's get rid of them. Get rid. Okay, so now what we want will be our total cost. What we want to compare will be our total cost and what our total sales. So we'll simply get rid of this one. So let's do that. So let's simply get rid of it. Okay, so our total cost price. So our total cost incurred or our total cost price as against our what? Our total sales generated. So our total sales generated. And okay. So then we'll do same for if in case there is a restock. So we'll simply copy and paste this one. Then over here also we'll simply get rid of this. Then come over here and simply make the new total cost against the new total sales. So now we will change it. So we'll simply change it to the new total cost price. The new total cost price. That's after restocking. Okay. And the next thing will be the new total sales generated. So the new total sales generated. Okay, if there are accountants here, they should help me out. Okay, so now these are but a few of the data we would like to analyze. So then the next thing to do will be to create our dashboard and start with this data input. And so in our very next and final video, we will be creating the very last thing, that is our dashboard, to visually represent all the data inputs for easy and simple understanding. And also we will be adding a simple table of contents so that anytime they want to access any data point or input, they can simply do that with just one click. So kindly look forward to it. Thank you very much.